Good morning. My name is Darrel. I'm the former THPO, or Tribal Historic Preservation Officer for the Washoe tribe. And I've worked with the Friends of Sierra Rock Art for many years in both the capacity as the Tribal Historic Preservation Officer and as a private citizen. Here lately, I'm a private citizen. I retired from the tribe several years ago, but I maintain contact with the Friends of Sierra Rock Art, Bill. And today I want to thank the Friends of Sierra Rock Art for inviting me here to talk about the effects of vandalism on petroglyphs and the Donner Petroglyph Site. I am a direct descendant of the Washoe people that created these petroglyphs. And so I guess that qualifies me to talk about it, but I think it's important that we hear the native perspective about the effects of petroglyphs. It is what we created. Donner is one of many petroglyph sites and archaeological sites within the Washoe tribe Aboriginal territory. I guess I should tell you a little bit about myself. So my mother is Washoe, and I grew up in Alpine County, California. That's where I grew up. And after I grew up, I did my time in the military, in the Army. I did time 20 years fighting fire. So with those, you know, I worked in extreme environments, and it was rewarding to do what I did because I did something that was good. But my most important achievement is working in the capacity working with the tribe to protect the natural and cultural environments. So while I was working with the tribe, it was not just related just to historic heritage resources, but also the natural environment. The flora, fauna, the fish, the wildlife, the water, everything. That's all important. You know, it's just like the Friends of Rock Art people, you know, they dedicate their time to doing this work, protection and preservation. That's a big job, and I appreciate that work. My contributions working for the Washoe tribe transcended beyond tribal matters, but had positive effects in the region. Today I will try to convey to you what these special places mean to us as a tribal member and a citizen of this country. Donner Petroglyph Site is just one of many archaeological sites within the Washoe homeland. It is important to us. Petroglyphs, sometimes called rock art by modern people. However, petroglyphs have a purpose and meaning beyond something to look at, but rather had a specific purpose by a select few indigenous people. So when I say a select people, there was only a few people that were actually creating these sites based on what I see. Not the whole tribe was out there doing this. But it was only a select people that were creating these images in the rock. I could say Washoe, but I think indigenous people across the country face the same threats to their special places. So I'm here as a Washoe member, but I know that in other places across the country, they face similar problems with their heritage places being desecrated. These special places have always been our story and always will be our story of who we are. For thousands of years, they had remained a place of great veneration that had special meaning for the tribe. For thousands of years, the petroglyphs have withstood time, but they have no defense against human vandalism. These places have experienced vandalism for years, but recently this place and other places have come under attack by graffiti. During the pandemic, I have seen an increase in widespread vandalism and damage throughout the Sierras. So this is one site, but there are many other sites that have come under attack by graffiti. And the bad thing about graffiti is once somebody puts it down, then somebody else has to come along and put theirs on there, and next thing you know, it's everywhere. And it's just like that everywhere. And just right across the valley there in Martis Valley, we had to clean up a site that had come under attack from graffiti as well. Like all archaeological sites that have already been lost, we have lost not only important places to Washoe, but lost all evidence into a glimpse of the past. I can think of many things to say about those people committing desecration, but I'm here today to bring people together for a common cause and appeal to their human dignity to do the right thing. And that's all we can do, to get the word out for people to do the right thing. Most people are good, and most people are respectful. Most people want to do the right thing. And I think this might help, if they understand how important it is, not just to the Washoe, but to everyone across the nation or the country. Okay, so I want to talk about some of the things I have done to reduce the disturbances. So in my years as a historic preservation officer, I work with organizations, land managers, to create and post heritage protection information at public platforms and places. Get the word out. So I have spent hours removing graffiti using alcohol to remove paint. So we'd do a cotton ball, put some alcohol on it, and we get out there and swirl on it for hours and hours to remove the graffiti off the archaeological or the petroglyph sites. That's time-consuming and tedious work, but it's something that we did. And when I say we, working with volunteers, like Friends of Rock Art, people like that, to reduce potential adverse effects to heritage sites, I have contacted websites or blogs that advertise petroglyphs. Some of the people voluntarily removed information due to the potential harm that their websites may be causing, for which we are very thankful. So just making contact with some of these people, they understand and they they remove that information. That's just really good. And again, we're thankful that they did that. As the former Tribal Historic Preservation Officer for the Washoe Tribe in Nevada and California, it was my duty to protect heritage resources. As the tribe repatriated our former lands back to the tribe, sometimes those lands came with features that are not tribal history, but became part of our history now that we own it. As such, under the Tribal Historic Preservation Office, they have received equal consideration and protection. So even though they're not our culture, they still receive protection from the tribe. Some things we can all do to preserve. People are naturally inquisitive and want to see these special places and know what they mean. Perhaps one day a person will unlock the mysteries, but for me, I'm perfectly fine with the wonderment of mysteries. Leave it as a mystery and consider yourself fortunate to see a glimpse into the ancient world. And I like that. That's what we're all wanting to do. It's ancient stuff, and we're fortunate to be able to see that. These special places have always been our story, and always will be our story of who we are and our cultural affiliation. But these places have become the story of America, an integral part of the American experience and history. What was once the exclusive realm of the indigenous peoples, the Washoe and indigenous peoples, have been absorbed into what gives America a past and history. History began thousands of years before 1492, and it is a continuance of that time. As a people, we all have a duty to protect and preserve these special places. It all depends on the individual, how well they value the story of America. If we lose these places before ever learning the true meaning of these places, it will be a loss for the nation's identity of who we are as a people. For all those people that have dedicated their time and lives to do their part protecting these places is a testament of their goodwill and character. So thank you, Friends of Sierra Rock Art, and all the other people that are out there doing their part to protect these places. Finally, I read somewhere that a responsible nation and people care for their past and history.